Hello GEVS teachers, students, and parents. Mr. Pez here. So what we're going to talk about is some of the accessibility features, but also the things that are really useful for everyone in terms of OneNote. So if you don't know, OneNote and Microsoft in general are fantastic for accessibility and special education. So I'm going to show you a few of those features, namely the Immersive Reader and the Dictate function. So let's go into my test class, and what we're going to do is we are going to find some text. Now, Immersive Reader works best with in-text, not just the PDF. I'm going to show you a way around that with the PDF later, but here I'm just going to show you how we can use Immersive Reader to read some text that your teacher added just to the page. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to View, you're going to go to Immersive Reader, and then you'll be taken to a page that looks like this. So what this does is it takes all of the text from the page that you want to read, and it enables you to play around with it and have it being read to you. I'm just going to throw on my desktop audio here so you can hear. And if you press play,
the teacher-only section group is a place to put material.
And it reads it in a bit of a robotic voice, but that's better than having no access to it at all. Now, as you'll see, I have in my little settings here, I can change the speed of the voice. So right now I have it at 0.75. If I wanted to read like an average reader, I would put it at a 1.
Materials that should be kept private.
Now let's say I am bored, I can speed it all the way up.
From the rest of the students in the class.
And if I am working on my reading and I want it to go at my pace, I can make it super slow.
Class. Only
Maybe not that slow. Okay, so you're at 1, you can change the female, male in the voice selection. Let's look at some of the other features here. So first thing, we also have a picture dictionary. So if you don't know what the word private means, you can click on private and it will tell you how to say it.
private.
And it will show you pictures of what it might be. Similar examples might be materials. And that can just help with some of our students who are still learning vocabulary. Then if we go up to these two A's, we have text preferences. Now, if you're low vision, you might want to increase the size, or maybe you want more information on the screen. You don't need it that big. You can increase or decrease the spacing. So especially with me, I have dyslexia, and I find having that extra space helps me out a little bit. And you can change the font between these three fonts here. I personally like this Sitka, but you can make the decision. It's totally up to you. And then finally, we have background colors. So some people have difficulty with certain types of contrast. So the black and white contrast may not be what suits them best. So what you can do is you can change the background to all of these different colors. And indeed, there are more colors down here. So use your own personal preference. Up to you. I like this color. All right, and then show source formatting is just the way it is formatted in the source, or you can just have that off and then it just shows up like just rows and paragraphs. All right, moving next, we have grammar options. There are some really fun things in here. So as a teacher, I get excited about this next one, syllables. So whenever I'm teaching poetry, or maybe I'm teaching some pronunciation with the students, I can put on the syllables one and it will show them how many syllables are in each. So if we're working on materials, I can show them materials, right? And it just breaks up where all the syllables are in each word. And I just think that's really cool, especially if you're teaching poetry or you're just teaching parts of speech in general. Moving along with parts of speech, we have the parts of speech. Now, something really cool with Immersive Reader that you can do is you can highlight all the different parts of speech. So if you want all of the nouns to be purple, you can make that happen. Or let's say you're doing a lesson or you're getting a lesson on verbs and you want to share with your students, or you want to understand where the verbs are, you can have all your verbs highlighted. So if that's your focus of that week, that's just something you can do. Now, if you have multiple highlighted and you forget which colors, you can press show labels and it's going to show you what each one is. And I just think that's really interesting. All right, moving along, we'll go to the next one. We have reading preferences, and this is something that would have helped me quite a bit when I was younger, line focus. So what this does is it focuses on the line that you are reading. I know for me that when I'm reading, I will read part of it and then I will lose my place and read over again. And it's very frustrating. So if you have line focus, it really helps as you're moving along to only have that part readable. Then you can go up, you can turn it off if you'd like. Totally up to you. You can toggle on and off the picture dictionary. And then there's a whole bunch of different languages. So for our ELL readers, it may be a good idea to check this out. So maybe we're going to do some Arabic. And we're going to do the whole document. And I'm not sure how the translation works. Hopefully it's good. I don't speak Arabic though, so I'm not sure. But that's just something that may be useful to some of our ELL students, in a pinch where you're trying to communicate something with your ELL student. It might help. So that is Immersive Reader, and I think Immersive Reader is an incredibly powerful tool, and I really encourage you to check it out and be creative with this. I think you could do a lot of really interesting things with literacy in terms of understanding where the parts of speech are, and then using the colors to create that, or with the syllables. And it also just unlocks reading for some of our emerging readers. This could also help a lot of our ELL students. So I hope this helped you discover some more of Immersive Reader. It's on OneNote, it's on Word, it's on everything that we do here. So please check it out, and I hope that helped.